All right. Um, yeah, I did not record a video last week, so welcome again. Yeah, after 2 weeks. So okay, so how was the last 2 weeks? Last week was really busy because of the icwsm deadline. I submitted a lot of papers. I don't want to say the number because that will make me look like an idiot. Because I mean, I had colleagues and other friends who were submitting these five, six, seven papers to a conference, and I always used to think, what a, yeah, something like that. Like what a bad research agenda that is. Like, if you are, yeah, if you have like, you're submitting five, six papers to a conference, that means you have five, six different lines of work, like which is not a good thing. And yeah, I did something like that as well. Like, okay, yeah, I know I have to be much more careful from now. Obviously, okay, the exact number does not matter because you are working on multiple things and like, they get rejected and there's a good deadline and you submit. So that might be the case. So it's fine. Like, and obviously, you are quick to judge, but even with the others, it might have happened. Like, so that's not a problem. But anyway, so out of those many submissions, there were three new submissions. And uh, so one of them is work by my PhD student that he has done during his internship at Cornell. And so we were trying to, I mean, we have been trying to wrap it up for a long while now. And like, it's really, again, has been a rush to the finish. And like, I'm glad we finished it. And so, yeah, that's submitted. So that project is about creating rules for groups, WhatsApp groups automatically using AI. So, uh, the setup is like, okay, on WhatsApp, there's no rules, and usually it's a Wild West. And Aditya Vasishta at Cornell, his team has done a lot of work on like how rules make sense and play a big role in uh, moderation on WhatsApp. And like everyone wants rules, but nobody creates these rules. And so we said, okay, why not create rules using AI? And we created a bunch of LLMs that take the content and then create the rules, content of the groups. And there's a bunch of LLMs, like some of them just take the context, like so you can just say, yeah, this is the name of my group, give me some rules, or you can some of them take the full context, like so they, people upload their WhatsApp chat history. And so we tested a bunch of different things, and it works very well. Like LLMs for this task, even for like we did it in India, like even for like pure Hindi or Hindi English mix, like the groups are consistently LLM generated rules are consistently well accepted by the users. So, I mean, there's been a bit of rush in that paper, but otherwise, like it's a decent paper. Like, it shows a real world practical application of an LLM. And, we did it at scale, like, hundreds of users and all that stuff. So let's see. I hope, people like it. Obviously, I mean, if you want to find issues with the paper, there are issues with the paper, but you always have to be careful not to I guess okay, because it's my paper, I'm trying to think of it that way, that you don't look for just reasons to reject the paper. Okay, so that was the first one. The second paper was about like some multimodal data processing. I mean, again, like it's a work that has been long time in the coming, like maybe a year or so. Not a year, maybe 6 months, 8 months, maybe. So the idea there was that we have this huge data set from WhatsApp with social media, videos, images, and so on. What can we do with LLMs with that data? So, and one thing we realized quickly is that with the advances in LLMs and like with multimodal models like Quen and Gemma, that can process images. We can easily like get some insights from it. And we tried like a bunch of things. So looking at how LLMs can help you detect like high level topics. So we can detect like, okay, which of these images or videos are talking about politics or about violence or about things like that, like commerce, entertainment, things like that. We also looked at whether LLMs have a good performance. So we had a bunch of human annotators annotate content saying, okay, this is misinformation, this is hate speech, this is caste speech, things like that. And then we had an LLM detect, okay, is there hate speech in this? Is there misinformation in this? Okay, unsurprisingly, it's not an easy task, but it's surprisingly good for like multimodal stuff, like so in an unexpected way. So you might assume that for videos, it's very, very hard to detect if video is I don't remember the exact categories, but something like, I don't know, a casteist or something. But yeah, I mean, it surprisingly works well, decently well. I mean, not, it's in nowhere close to 90%. The F1 is around like 0.6, zero point 0.7, but much, much better than random in a lot of cases. So there's some signal there that is helpful that these LLMs can perform well. Uh, the the next thing we did is like look at how these LLMs can help in detecting the spread of mainstream media narratives. And there again, we did some simple like semantic matching with the help of like I mean, you can take the YouTube videos of the mainstream narratives, and you can get these text embeddings from multimodal capabilities, and then you can do some sort of matching. So that's again a very, very interesting way of looking at it. I mean, again, like this is not the best of the best papers. It has a lot of flaws, and people can easily find a lot of flaws in it. But overall, I think it's really good that we showed that this is possible at this scale, and you can do this type of analysis. Like, I don't know, now if you're able to say, I don't know, 70% of your politics videos or politics content is images and videos, right? And then you know what each of those politics video is and what it is about, so you can do further analysis on it. Like, so just that component is very powerful. And like even just this TV thing, like, I mean, it's very uh, I mean, the results were not like very encouraging because there was not much match. So one of the original ideas was that we'll show that oh, the mainstream narratives are being like also promoted on social media, WhatsApp groups, and things like that. There was very little of that happening. So it was not a quantitative, like large scale quantitative analysis, but still, like if you're able to find that, okay, this video on mainstream media talking about this specific topic, there are these 500 videos talking about it on WhatsApp, 200 images and things like that. That sort of narrative detection across modalities is a very interesting thing and a very powerful thing. So hopefully that is also going to be beneficial. The Let's see, like, I mean, yeah, hopefully people like it. So that's the second paper. And the third paper is with some like a student who I just one off worked with. So is currently in Germany. He's a master student there, and so it's about studying the betting app infrastructure in India. Again, like it's very interesting. It's very practical problem. So betting apps are huge. They have a huge reach, huge impact, and things like that. So one of the key findings there is that Meta is just left and right allowing betting apps to run ads there. It's really bad, like meaning there are tens of thousands of these ads that I have run in the, I don't know, few year period that we have seen. That, I mean, this is after they've deleted a lot of ads, they say. So yeah, there is that infrastructure there. We don't have a lot of metadata about the ads, so we don't know if it is like, really how many people are seeing them, how much money is Facebook making. But there's other reporting, public service reporting that shows that, yeah, Meta is definitely making a lot of money with these sorts of scam ads. The um, yeah, the second part of that is some sort of qualitative mixed methods analysis of looking at how that ecosystem exists on Instagram and then how people are reporting what kinds of complaints they are facing using these apps on Google Play. So it's a kind of ecosystem review. Again, it's it's not like the best of the best things. There's so many gaps here and there. Obviously, it's conceived and executed in like 4 months or so. So it's not that easy to like take care of every possible issue that comes here. But let's see. Like that's the paper. So anyway, so there were those three papers and a bunch of others from that were rejected. Like by the way, all of my web conference papers have been rejected. Like so there, I don't know, maybe I talked about it last week, maybe not. The I was a bit stupid there. Like I just said, so when I wrote the rebuttal, like I said directly, because I mean I was a bit pissed, but and I also was stupid because I assumed that only the senior PC members will see the reviews, the rebuttal. I directly wrote there, like so I mean it's some of them, like two of them were like really, I mean I really want like a web conference paper, so I really these were like really very good efforts. I would say like really good efforts from my side. And like so for instance they involved like I don't know creating an app that took like 2 3 years and like going on the field, working in the field to get this sort of network data from people, and like it's very complex execution. And the guy was like, "Oh, this is like a software engineering project or something like that." And I was like, I wrote a rebuttal saying, "Okay, please, when you're considering your ratings, don't consider the reject from these sorts of reviews." But obviously, yeah, I guess, I mean, they don't see that or they don't care. Like, so anyway, so that everything got rejected. So now I have to submit those here. So basically, last week I didn't record anything because it was just so chaotic, meaning like, I had these three papers. Nothing was written by the start of the week. Like so I had to, and all of them were on me to write. The student paper was a bit. I mean, I didn't write much, but the two papers I had to write from scratch. Like so, I had to do a lot of the analysis and reframing and all of that stuff. So it's anyway, it was really intense, and like so I spent like I don't know a lot of time on that. And then Friday was that was until Thursday. Thursday night was the deadline, and Friday I had another like a bunch of other meetings and things like that, and I had to prepare for this class. So today was my class, today and yesterday. So yeah, okay. So that was last week. This week was a short week. I don't know what did I do. Like, okay, so yeah, I had this week. One of the big ones was that I had collected this sample, like a pilot sample from ChatGPT and Google. So the idea there is like, okay, if you look at ChatGPT usage and Google search usage, like how much, if you look at both users, how much of Google search usage declines after people start using ChatGPT. So that's the question. And like, what are they using? Is it a replacement or is it a complement for Google search and things like that? It's a very complex data collection mechanism. So you have to go and donate your Google data and then your ChatGPT data. It's really hard to get people to do both and to do both reliably. Like, so we are technically hard, but also practically hard. So we kind of build that, and then now, okay, we are getting some data. We collected data from 100 users, but it's again really hard to analyze that data because some people will have Google data but not ChatGPT data, or the other way, or they will have Google data but or they don't have Google data but you have YouTube data, or Gemini data but not ChatGPT. So it's very messy to analyze, and then yeah. So finally, I spent a lot of time analyzing that. So that was that. Then uh, Thursday I was teaching a course that I teach every time, so that's fine. But Friday today, man, these courses. Today I was teaching a PhD course. It took a lot of time, I mean, to prepare, like, it's a 3 hour course, a 3 hour lecture. So I was teaching like nonstop for 3 hours, like a 10-minute break. But man, speaking for 3 hours is so hard. Like, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of mental stress, strain. Okay, yeah, and by the way, we had this PhD application deadline. So PhD people applied for Rutgers PhD program, and so there's 50, 60 applications. I had to review that. That took a lot of time, like I don't know, half a day or something. Yeah, I'm not getting any PhD students this cohort. I just didn't want to. And also, we did not get good applications, so that was that. So yeah, I mean, it's a very, very long video, so let me just stop here. And yeah, there's supposedly a snowstorm this weekend, but they're hyping it up like that will be a big deal. Let's see. Hopefully not. And yeah, see you.